Good morning. Today is Thursday, February 11th. So it's great because it's the kids. Jason only has to go to school half day, and then we have a 4-day weekend, which is wonderful. So yesterday was my first full day at home, after chemo. And the main side effects right now are just nausea. The medicine helps a lot. Eating is not fun. I know that if you know me, eating usually is very fun. But yeah, no, it makes my tummy hurt. I'm very bloated and uncomfortable, and it's just yucky. So anyway, I'm trying to understand that this is my new full-time job, to just take care of me. And I'm going to do things when I feel that I can do them, and then rest pretty much all the other time. But this morning, last night, I had to take the steroid again. So I have to take the steroid the day before chemo, and then when I'm getting chemo, they give me the steroid in my IV. And then the day after chemo, I have to take the steroid, morning and night. And it's to prevent any kind of reaction from the drugs that they're putting into me. But since we know that the steroid keeps me awake, I took the tranquilizer medicine, anti-nausea medicine to help me sleep. But I took it early so I could get up. So I was up at 4, and they were teaching yoga today at our normal Zumba class. And so I went to that, and it was good. It was good for me to see people. It was good for me to be with the people I am normally with every morning. I got tired and nauseous, but I took my anti-nausea pills with me. So I took a pill in the middle of class and took it easy. So that's what they said we could do. Try to do things when you feel like it, and then if you don't feel like it, just rest. But that's hard sometimes for me, because sometimes I need people to say, no, don't do that, or I might try to do it. Because none of us want to be like this. Okay, so today, since I want to tell you a little bit about the journey. Okay, so on September 29th, it was a Sunday, I felt a little knot right there. Just little, like it felt like a bean or a BB. I had Mitch feel it. He thought maybe my lymph glands were just swollen because we weren't feeling so good, but I knew it was different. There are times when my arms are sore and I feel things, but this was hard. It was like a knot. So I already had a referral for a mammogram, so I called directly on Monday to get a mammogram. They said, since you have a knot, you need to go see your doctor. So went to see my primary care physician on Tuesday, had him feel it so that he could order what they call a diagnostic mammogram. It's just more extensive with an ultrasound. But I didn't get that appointment until October 20th. So all of Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, I'm wondering if I got cancer. So went on the 20th to have my mammogram. My sweetheart went with me, had the regular mammogram, the diagnostic, the ultrasound. As soon as ultrasound was over, they called in a doctor to tell me that I needed a biopsy. And I asked, is this not a cyst? And he said, no, cysts are fluid-filled, and this is a hard mass that wasn't there before. My last mammogram was in 2012. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother, my mom's mom, had breast cancer, and she had a mastectomy and chemo and all of that. So I have been aware that it is something that I need to be looking for. Of course, none of us ever thought you'd get it, right? You know all these people that get it. And of course, right now, everybody's dying from it. All these famous people are dying from it. Anyway, so had the biopsy. They used the ultrasound machine, and they put a needle into your chest through the... No, I just watched the ultrasound machine. I didn't want to watch him putting needles in me. And it went through the needle to numb it, through the bump to numb it. Then they have like a little trigger gun that collects samples, and it's really loud. Click, 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 and it takes samples of the mass. So then they put pressure on it so it won't bleed. So Mitch was with me with that. And then you have to wait for those results. And they said they would call me. So I think from that time calling me, I was a little more scared about it, if it was cancer or not. So they happened to call me while I was at Walmart. So I cleared a shelf and sat down and listened to what she had to say. So they called me and on 12, let's see, I had the biopsy on 10/29. The results came back on 11/2 and told me it wasn't cancer. Said, it's benign. It's not benign, but it's not cancer. It's atypical. It looks like it could turn into cancer, so you need to get it out. Okay, well, I'm sitting in the middle of Walmart taking notes about, that I'm going to have a surgeon. So they email you a list of general surgeons. So I was going to call this one surgeon, but he was way far out for a consultation. And it's just so much waiting. And so finally got into a surgeon, and her name was Teresa Reading. And I met with her for a consultation on November 5th. So it's only a few days after. So we talked. I really liked her. She talked about, even from the very beginning, she talked about if it was cancer, that radiation and anti-estrogen medicine was an option. So she mentioned those things from my very first appointment with her. So when we get to that point, I wasn't scared because I had heard that information before. So we scheduled surgery for 11/18. So on 11/18, I had the lump removed. Not a big deal. Just surgery. It took the lump out. When I came out of anesthesia, I was really grumpy because it wasn't a very deep anesthesia, because it was just a little lump. And I told Mitch I was going to punch him. And I just told those nurses they need to wheel my ASS out of here because I was done being there. I was starving. So, got that lump removed on the 18th. Well, they have to send it to pathology. Well, they send it to the pathology here, and nobody knows what it is. So they sent it to the Mayo Clinic. And so when I went back to see her on she called me on 11/24 and told me they sent it to the Mayo Clinic. She's like, just enjoy your holidays. Don't worry about it. Right. Okay. They took something out of me that they don't know what is. Let's not worry about it. Sure. Okay. So on 12/3, I had my 2-week follow-up, and that's when I was told I had cancer. Mitch wasn't with me because we thought it was just a 2-week follow-up to look at the surgical site. And she breaks it down and tells me I have cancer. Some weird epithelial carcinoma of the breast that is rare. That's not normally found in the breast. That's why nobody knew what it was. So we scheduled a second surgery. The second surgery was to remove a bigger area around where it was to make sure there wasn't any more cancer around there, and then to check the lymphatic system. So your sentinel lymph nodes are the first place where cancer would spread if it were to go through your lymphatic system. So I scheduled that surgery for the week after Christmas. So on December 30th, I had my second surgery. This one's a little more different. I had to go in and they injected radiation into closer down there on my chest. And then that had to flow up into my nodes. And then when she went into the surgery, she injected blue dye, which will show where those first nodes would be. So the blue dye goes to the first nodes, and then the radiation, they have a little machine that goes ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that's where that is. So they make sure they take out the right one. So she opened the area. She took out 2 nodes. Okay, it won't affect me, other than we found out I should only use this arm for blood tests and blood pressure and stuff. So they looked good. Okay, so I got those out. She called and said that everything was negative. There was no more cancer from where she took it out, that the lymph nodes were negative. I was on cloud 9. Yay, no more cancer, post-cancer free, da-da-da-da-da. No. On my second 2-week follow-up, which again, Mitch didn't come with because, just to follow up. I'm tired of following up with her. She had a more detailed pathology report that said more information about the type of cancer that I had. So with that information, she said that I needed to go meet with the medical oncologist, which is a chemo doctor, and the radiation oncologist, which I already had an appointment for the radiation oncologist because, as I said, I was already sold on taking radiation. Radiation is where they just burn that area. It's every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday for 6 weeks or whatever. But it's just, to fix that area just makes you tired. And then go on an anti-estrogen regimen because a lot of times the estrogen receptors feed the cancer. And so I had to go off of the birth control pill that I've been on for many years and start to take this other medicine after the treatments are done. So I met with a medical oncologist, and they actually tattooed me. I don't know if you can see that little black dot, it just looks like a freckle. But they actually take a scan of your chest, and they give you a black dot here, 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 and here. So that every time you go in for radiation, they will know where to give you that radiation. So, Dad, she said that I had really good lungs, that they looked nice and they were formed nicely, so they don't get in the way when she does it. So I'm supposed to give you some props, Dad, that you made good lungs. And this hair, in case you're wondering, I went to bed with it wet, and this is what it does. And I'm really just embracing all that it is because, why not have it for much longer? Okay, sorry, back to my story. So I met with a radiation oncologist on one day. Next day, met with the medical oncologist, which is the chemo doctor. And he exclaimed that he wanted to do another test, an onc type test, to check more of the genetics of the test. And explained that, there could be 86 documented cases of this kind of cancer or 50 documented cases of this kind of cancer, but we want to figure out really what is my tumor made up. So they make slides of the tumor that they take out, and those they keep forever. It's not fresh tissue, but they cut it and put it on slides so they can look at it. So they sent those to California to be tested. So I had this great plan. I'm going to go to Disneyland. I'm not going to worry about it. When I come back, we'll get started. Well, when I came back, I was supposed to have an appointment on Tuesday when we came back, and I canceled the appointment because the test results weren't in. And then I started to get down. The doctor called me and said the test results were supposed to be on Thursday. That's what they had said. And they weren't in on Thursday. And that was hard. I cried and I was frustrated and I just wanted to know. I don't do well with not knowing. Tell me what I have to deal with and I'll deal with it. This back and forth, am I going to have chemo? Am I not? I don't know. I don't know where to put my brain. So he called Friday, but by Friday I was like, whatever. It is or it isn't. And then on Saturday they called. And I think I already went over that. So this is my longest video, but I just wanted to tell you about how it has been quite the journey. It's just been going on since September, and it's up and down. You don't have cancer. You do have cancer. We don't know what kind of cancer you have. Oh, well, you have this cancer, and you're only going to need this treatment. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. No, maybe you need this treatment. And so he was very urgent in the fact that we had been waiting so long to get to this point. And so he just wanted to get started. And I'm fine with that. Like, I just want to go forward as well. I want to know that these cancer cells are out of my body and that I can move forward and live a healthy life. So, that's my story. There's lots of other details and craziness, but the point is, it was a tough journey. It was back and forth, not knowing this, that, and the other thing, and you just got to keep your faith. And you've got to keep praying, and you've got to keep holding on. And in the very beginning, when I prayed with my kids and we fasted months after months, we fasted that Mommy wouldn't have cancer or Mommy wouldn't have to have chemo, but that whatever the Lord's will for us, that we will accept it and that we will do whatever He wants us to do, and we know that He will help us get through it. And so I know that. I know that this isn't fun, and it's not what I want to do, and I hate not being me, and going to Zumba and teaching little kids in elementary school and teaching my primary class and, being me. But I also know that this is a time that I need to take care of me, and that is what I will do. So I love and appreciate all of you, and I want you to know that I'm going to be okay, and you should really enjoy this video of my beautiful hair today because it might not be there. Oh, and then you can see my free hug shirt. Because I like to hug, but wash your hands, sanitize. Okay. All right, I'll shut up now. Okay, have a great day. Bye.